Okay, we're going to try this format, see if this is easier for you to see. I'm sorry you couldn't see the whole lesson on Monday. I just want to go over again what we're doing. We are following the same as last week. So again, you're going to have your first paragraph be about the characters, your setting, problems, conflict, climax, and your resolution. Now remember, this is brief because you only have one paragraph to do this in. So you have to limit your details. Only include the most important elements. There we go. Important elements so that the reader understands the main points of the story. So remember all these things in the first paragraph. Okay, then we're going to move on to the triac part. I know some of you had some confusion, so I'm going to give you some examples on the triac part. And you're going to have two paragraphs that are going to cover the triac part. So the first one is going to be your, as you look, let me give you the page number so you can follow along. That'll help. If you look at page 234, you're going to identify the basic elements of the story, which you did. Then step 2, choose 2 analysis topics from the list. So you have a main character, you can talk about the qualities. I'm going to do that for you just to illustrate how it would be done. So if I chose the first one as Goliath, let's write, we have T. If we see on our outline on page 240, I would choose Goliath, and I would write G. And what's something about him? I'm going to make a general statement about him. Goliath, who does Goliath rely on in this story? So I'm going to put rely. Who does he rely on? He relies on himself. Okay, so that would be my topic. Then I'm going to narrow that. I'm going to restrict it. But first, remember, I want to choose my illustration, my example, my quote. So my illustration would be, the one I chose was 1 Samuel 17:10. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk about my restriction, how I'm going to restrict this topic down to enough that I would just have a few points. So mine would be on, he was a giant. That was one of the things he relied on. That was why he relied on. How tall was he? He was a strong champion. Forgive my writing. He had armor that was how much? 175 pounds. Bronze javelin. And he defied God. Okay, so that's how I restrict my topic. I make a general topic. Goliath relies on himself. Then I would go in and I would describe, restrict it to these things. These are the things I'm going to discuss as to how he relies on himself. I have my illustration. Goliath challenges is what this is about. And you'll notice, if you look at your keyword outline, per thing you have 2 to 3 lines. You don't just have one line. So under R, you can have more than 3 things. But each line, I don't have more than that. And then you have A is your analysis, which this is your opinion. This is where you put your thoughts into, what do you think of it? You're analyzing it, and then you have your clincher. I'll give you one more example For the second paragraph of the analysis topic, so it's actually our third, but our second of this type using the triac method, my topic could be, under T, could be David. He trusts, and what did David trust in? He trusted in the Lord, or God. So that would be my topic. David trusts in the Lord. Now I want to restrict that. How am I going to describe that? That's what R is for. But remember, first I have to go in and get my illustration. And the one I chose was 1 Samuel 17:45, where he says, you come to me with a sword. And this is where Goliath disdains David. Okay, so I have my topic, David trusts in the Lord. Then I have my illustration, you come to me. The whole thing, I didn't write it all out, but I have more than one line. This is my illustration. Then I'm going to go back and restrict this statement. So I would restrict it by saying Goliath I would restrict it to the youth. In his youth, he showed courage, even though he was young, and determination. He had faith in the power of God. So I restricted this topic, because you could go a lot of places with this, down to when he was young, God gave him courage. He was determined. He had faith in the power of who God was. I restricted it. Then I go in and I have my analysis of it, and I have my clincher. Remember, you're not doing your intro or your conclusion this week. So just paragraph 2, which is summarize the story. Remember, it has to be just a small amount, but make sure you get all of those items in there. And then 2 paragraphs on analyzing your topics. And it's up to you what you chose. I chose this just to illustrate it for you. But again, get your topic. Restriction means now I'm going to narrow that down. What am I going to discuss about my topic sentence? Don't forget to be working on your debate topics, and please run it by me. Debate, get your topics. You want to start researching as soon as possible. I would be researching now, because you might get into your topic, or you might get into the viewpoint you thought you were going to choose, and you might realize there's not enough information, or you might choose something different. So start researching this week also. But first, I got to spell that right. Just shoot me a message. You can email me or on Canvas, and let me know what your topic is, just so it's approved. And also, I can be giving you some ideas too. Then start researching. You want to start researching as soon as you can, so you have enough time. I'm going to be breaking down each part of this, but just start getting a general idea. Is there enough information on this topic I've chosen? Maybe get your main points. Just get some of those ideas, maybe 3-4 ideas that you want to discuss within that topic, and make sure there's enough information. So hopefully this helps you, and hopefully you could see this. Have a good week. It's supposed to be sunny.